Well, hello there, YouTube. What's this? This doesn't look like where we left off. Well, of course, it's Banana Hammock Thong Dwarf Guy. This guy single-handedly saved the stream. We are the only reason you are watching part 30 right now, my friends, is because of the glory of the Banana Hammock Thong Dwarf Guy. For whatever reason, I found a workaround on crashes where we get to load him up and he saves the day. If you have loved this playthrough with all of your heart and you want to commemorate just how special and important Banana Hammock Thong Dwarf Guy is, get yourself down into the merch store at drmick.merch. The link is down in the description if you need it. And there's a lovely t-shirt and mug available for you to purchase to commemorate the fact that this guy put all of us, he put the whole community of YouTube and Twitch on his back, and he carried us through the straps of his banana hammock all the way to the end. All right? It's great to have you all here. As always, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day or night to watch Dragon Age Origins with a Therapist. It means the absolute world to me that you are willing to spend so much time watching these. Leave a like on the video. Leave a comment down below if there's something you want to say about the playthrough. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and come hang out with us on Twitch sometime at 9:30 p.m. Pacific time. We'd love to have you. This is going to be quite the episode. What a way to bring in the 30s to have Liliana and Morgan have to get us out of jail, huh? Let's see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. Isaac, thanks for gifting that sub. I appreciate it. Great to have you all here. Now, do I want to play as Liliana or Morgan? I want to play as Liliana, I think. Okay, so we're just two chantry girls. Just showing up. Just so you all know, we're here because we come spreading the word of the Maker. And we believe in the prison system as one of rehabilitation. It is one where we certainly want folks to be held accountable for their crimes, but we also believe that this is not a place that people should return, that after they've done their time, they will have learned from their mistake, and they will go forth and be productive members of society. And what better way to ensure that the people in this vulnerable position in the jail have some sense of direction that isn't just the words of the warden, than to have the Maker himself. Well, okay, so it's not the Maker himself. It's like his words that were written and interpreted by other people and written down in a book. And regardless, I think it would be awesome if we could bring this leather-bound goodness into this jail. We are totally unassuming. We're not dangerous. These swords are just these are blessed items of the Lord himself, the Maker. And as folks of as ladies of the chantry, we come in peace to spread the word. That is why we're here. Thank him, capital H, for the autosaves. Okay, so just wanted to just put that out there. Okay, fellas, we're just gonna go explore a little bit. We're good to go. All right, Morgan, you better play this cool. All right, play it cool. Come over here, have a glass of wine. Let's loosen ourselves up a little bit. We got to talk about the Maker. We have to talk about the Maker very authentically and very easily. We can't be having any hesitation, or they're gonna sniff out that maybe we're not ladies of the chantry. Can't open that. All right, we've canvassed the place. Hello, boys. Business. Fight. Let Liliana bluff. Let Morgan bluff. Oh God, I don't know that either of these is gonna bluff particularly well. Morgan, use your charm.
We have come on chantry business.
And Drustay's arse you have. You're no priest.
I told you this was a terrible idea.
Oh, good. Okay, well, I don't know any of their moves. Kick them in the nuts. Below the belt. Oh, man, this is going to be really good. We're gonna have to attack the same person. Morgan, help a girl out here. Well, key to the reception door. Okay. We'll take that. Well, now... oh, boy. Well... I don't know. This kind of blows our cover. I don't even have a good story to come up with. Blood-stained robes. It's my own blood. I've sacrificed my own well-being as a way to pay tribute to him. He who hath... I can't even come up with a story on this. We're just gonna have to go in guns blazing here, Morgan. Super CHP, thanks for gifting that sub to Sean. I appreciate that. All right. Sister Augustine.
Perpetual sacrifice, pray for us. Sing our names to the Maker, that he send us light in these dark times.
Can you help us out?
Who is... Oh, Maker, save us. The fort is under attack.
No. We're... Oh, boy. Okay. Well... We are fellow women of the Chantry. Oh god, the captain's here. Oh jeez. Oh. 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 Witness me. Well, let that be a warning to you. My sense is that we were going to have to kill these people anyway, because how else were we going to get the key? Like, this just... And it doesn't seem like there's a peaceful way of going about this. Gosh, silly Mick and Alistair always getting themselves into trouble. Oh, lordy. Okay. There's no way we sneak past these guys. Absolutely no way. This is gonna be horrible. Oh boy. We gotta kill... Oh, man. We gotta kill 5 guys. And all we're wearing are robes. I feel like our cover's blown enough at this point that I can put our actual shit on. She's gonna have to tank. I don't have any rings for her. I got a helmet that I was able to put on her. Okay. Lovely. I don't have a helmet for Morrigan. But this Chantry robe is garbage. I don't want that. Robes of possession. Yeah, give me that. There we go. All right. Oh, man. Ancient elven armor. That's what you... Okay. Oh, there we go. Thank you. Whew. Okay. All right. This feels a little bit more fresh here. I mean, at this point, like, who are we fooling?
Did you hear that Town How was murdered?
Oh, these guys don't care?
Even for an Arl of Denerim, since he only holds the title for 10 days.
Oh, what was that? Come on, Morgan. Let's go.
It wasn't that. It just broke, Sergeant.
Let's go in the direction of where the ballista landed and shot.
Intruders!
Dumbasses. I can't believe that worked. Oh shit. Oh man, this is bad. Oh boy. I'm gonna run out of mana. And I'm gonna burn through all these poultices. All of them. I'm a bear now. No, I'm not. I'm a bear now. I'm a bear. How are these guys not terrified right now? Like I literally just turned into a bear in front of them. I'm a bear. This is useless. This is just not even, this isn't even good. Oh my god. Yes, just pelt him. Pelt him, Morgan. God. Okay. Yes, cower in fear. Cower in fear. Yes, you are afraid. Oh, all right, Liliana, how you feeling? Sorry about that. We'll make sure that doesn't happen again. Okay. Oh, God. All right. If I was Mick and Alistair, where would I be hiding? Ice arrow. Large flawed spirit crystal. That doesn't do me any good. I really wish I could bring Shale in here. Shale would have been money. Okay, so I don't want to go that way yet. We want to go this way. Let's just kill everyone in here, I guess. Intruders! Okay, see, I need Morgan to aggro. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. If I can get Morgan to aggro like that, we're good. Problem is Liliana demands so much. How is there like nothing in here to explore? Like, give me like lore and stuff. All I got are like crates and... This is such a cool area. Oh god. This is bad. Morgan. Maybe I should get me and Alistair out and then do all of this. Oh, this is the Colonel. Make him cower in fear, Morgan. There we go. There we go. There we go. Nice. Key to the front hall door. Great sword. That does not do me any good. Boy, this would be El Succo if I was on anything other than easy. Like, truly, this would be horrific. Damn it. What up, boys?
Got an intruder. Die, mongrel.
There we go. Okay, so maybe I do need to play as Morgan a little bit better. I can, like, kind of control things from afar. Wooden crate. Nothing. Nothing. That door appears to be a dead end. We got a barrel. Blank vellum in here. Nothing there. Wooden crate. Come on, Morgan. I'm certainly never subtle when I do things like this. Oh no. Oh boy, we got Mabari coming in here. Alright. Morgan. Confuse them all. Make this dog afraid. Give him the dog a
Attack!
There we go. Hell yeah.
I hate this part. Your wish?
Gotta say though, this is why you send women to do a difficult job. Women get shit done. Like Morgan and Liliana aren't messing around right now. Sleep. Wow. Hell yeah, there we are. Looks like I was right, Alistair. The ladies showed up. Let's go. Let's get us out of here. All right, let's put ourselves in jail too. No. Let's go get it. Let's go get the boys out, Morgan. It's always that top stair, man. Such a doozy. What's up, boys? Oh.
On my way. Come quickly, Warden, though I doubt you are inclined to linger.
There you are. Follow me, the Arl is waiting for us.
Yeah, codex updated. Why did I get Morgan? Okay, whatever. Let's go. Good stuff. Now, this is going to probably be really interesting to figure out how to get out of here. Because I'm guessing we just have to go back out the front door. Yeah, glad I already had access to my armor. That's for sure. Oh my god! Thank you. Thanks, guys. Alistair, don't you ever give Morgan shit again, alright? My king. Your grace. I gotta get him used to that. I gotta habituate Alistair. Would have been far funnier to have Banana Hammock bust out, to be fair. I agree. What happened to all these knuckleheads? Man, those guys were dumb. Alright, let's get out of here. I thought this was going to be a longer mission than it is. I thought we were going to be in here for ages. For a dragon age. Okay, we're... Arl Redcliffe's estate. I think we probably need to go... Where do we need to go? You were captured. Your friends have broken out. And now you must fight your way out of Fort Draken. I did that. Rescue the queen. Perhaps it would be a good idea to speak to Arl Eamon. Alright, so we got to go talk to Arl Eamon. Okay, actually, no. We're going to go to the market district. Son of Ban Sigard. I don't remember where Ban Sigar was. He wants you to give it to his sister Banas. I don't know where these people are. Yes. Alright, we're gonna go to the market district. Maybe they realized they were being dumb and left. Yes, that's what it was. Are we the baddies? No, it is the children who are wrong. Okay. Oops. We go this way. This way.
Magic exists to serve man and...
Blessed are the peacekeepers, champions of the just.
So you say. Thanks for the...
and turned it against his children.
Money. Alright, let's go talk to the Arl of Redcliffe's house. Which I believe is in this district, isn't it? I think we can just walk there from here. There's a guy that doesn't like to talk to us. Alright, in we go. Every time that happens, I think of Batman, the old Batman, where it's like... Uh-oh. I think a crash is imminent.
Maker's breath. It's good to see you in one piece, my friend.
Indeed. We have been praying for your safe return, Warden.
What's going on with the Arl's beard? You alright, pal? Alright, what happens now?
We will need to work together, and quickly. My father has gone mad. I didn't believe it at first, but he is gripped by a paranoia so severe it prevents him from seeing sense. He saw me as a threat, yet even now I'm certain he will be telling the nobles you are dangerous murderers that have kidnapped and mind-controlled me. He may even believe it.
Yep, guaranteed. Guaranteed he's going to do that. The dude controls the flow of information. He's going to do everything he can to get out in front of it. I will recall a point that we made earlier in the playthrough, which is that you have immense power and leverage when you are able to be the one who sends out the first story. When people are presented with an unknown or they don't necessarily know what's going on, if you can get the first story out that gives an answer and clarity amongst the unknowns, you are at a massive advantage, because now every other story that comes across is compared to the original story. The first story and impression is always going to have the most benefit of the doubt versus others. So, of course, Logain is going to jump out ahead of this and try to craft a narrative around this. Of course. Because then everything we do has to be in response to that. We have to but his narrative. And so we're at a massive disadvantage anytime we come across somebody who's gotten that information. So if he's smart, he's absolutely doing that. And I think Anora has known her father long enough to know that that's the kind of thing that he's going to do. For sure. Can he still take the throne without you?
Perhaps. It will be more difficult for him, but if my father says the Grey Wardens are the enemy, many will believe it.
Yep.
He is a legend.
It's true. Our position in the Landsmeet is not strong, and this does little to help us.
At least that snake Howe is dead. That alone will not be enough, however. My father is committed to his path. You will need ammunition for the Landsmeet, and there I can help. You have only just arrived in the city, so perhaps you are unaware of some recent events. Denerim has been in turmoil since Ostagar. Many people here are angry or grieving. Strangely, the unrest is worst in the alienage. Few elves accompanied the army. They should have little reason to be upset, which means that Howe and my father must have given them reason. I don't know what is happening there, but I am certain my father has his hands in it.
A useful lead, Anora, but you could have sent this information with your maid.
That is true. I feared for my safety as Howe's prisoner. But to tell the truth, I sent Elena to you because I hoped we might join forces. You need that evidence for the Landsmeet. But you also need a stronger candidate for the throne. You need me.
This is not an act of altruism, friends. True, pure altruism, hard to come by, if not impossible. Okay? There is always an angle. People always have some sort of motivation or intention that they're acting off of, and I can feel it in this. Like, Anora stands to gain something from this. If she didn't, I don't think she would be acting in this way. So she's like, yeah, you need me. I don't know if she means you need me because I want to be the queen, and I want to be unimpeded by my father, right? Or if she means you need me because, like, I can back up whatever candidate you bring. But yeah, she's got some of her dad in her. She's a strategist. She gets it. Nobody here is operating solely at face value. Literally nobody here. Everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's got, like, this is some real, like, Game of Thrones political bullshit kind of nonsense that's going on here. So yeah, why not use this opportunity for the warden to come in here? You have Arl Eamon is all of a sudden awake. She sees an opportunity to overthrow her dad from doing some stupid shit. And she's like, yeah, you need me. But so there's the... It's interesting because, like, as soon as she started saying this, my initial reaction was like, this feels a little weird. And it's also interesting how forthcoming she's being with her leverage. Like, she is overtly stating that she has leverage. We already know that. And I wonder why she thinks that I would be so quick to be fine with her being the queen. And it certainly sounds more like she needs us. I'm going to hold her feet to the fire a little bit on this. I don't know her very well. I don't fully trust her. She would do well to acknowledge that I don't have reason to fully trust her. And I understand that she is already the queen. But her coming to me in this way is odd, right? Because if she's the queen and she has the power already, then she wouldn't be coming to me to do anything. So I'm going to hold her feet to the fire a little bit here and say it sounds more like you need us to get her on the rears a little bit and to try to expose more information from her. I'm not going to talk about Alistair. I'm not going to bring that up here. I'm not going to... If I say, and we should trust you, why, that already suggests that I don't trust her. Right? Convince me why you should trust me. I let on where I'm at with her. She doesn't know yet whether I trust her or not. And just how are you stronger is a bit of a challenge. Again, I those questions have statements behind them. So I'm going to go with you. Sounds more like you need us. I'm going to show my leverage in this conversation. I want to control these engagements as best I can. Even though I don't really care that much about Denerim politics. I have a lot of leverage right now because I'm an elf. I'm from the alienage. Whatever kind of unrest is there, if there's anybody who's going to get good information, it's me. Humans certainly aren't. Why would the elves talk to humans? Sounds like you need us.
I have no doubt Alistair is biddable enough, and decent, but even with his blood, he is no king. You think only I can see it? Not only that, Alistair is a Grey Warden. It will look like you are trying to put a Grey Warden on the throne, despite your claims. I am a neutral party, and I am already queen.
Anora, you are indeed Kaelin's widow, but...
I am the daughter of Ferelden's greatest general. Who do you think truly ruled this nation for the last 5 years? Kaelin, I am what this country needs, not an untrained king who does not even want the throne. I can help you stop my father. Consider what I have said. For now, I think I will retire to my room. Warden, when you have a moment, I ask that you speak to me in private.
I can't trust anybody who walks like that.
Well, she's quite spirited. I remember when Loghain first brought her to Denerim. Poor Kaelin was a good boy, but Anora was always 2 steps ahead. Had him jumping when she snapped since the first time she batted her eyelashes. I cannot help thinking she may be trouble, but we should keep her close, all the same.
Say more.
This is an alliance of convenience. For the moment, we are united against Loghain. Be careful how much trust you place in her. I do not for a moment think Anora means to give up her power easily. Still, I would rather have her where we can watch her than actively working for Loghain.
Wow, really, BioWare? Jesus. I mostly agree with what he's saying. Like, I don't have any... He's good, man. Honestly, if anything, he should be leading the place. We need leaders, chat. Like, you do need leaders. Humans as groups and organized systems need to have leadership. There's nothing wrong with leadership. Leadership becomes problematic when people use that power in a way that is antithetical to the needs of their constituents. That's where leadership becomes a problem. So, like, it really does... What people like to do, though, is they like to create these arbitrary symbols for why they should be in power, right? Like, the fact that, like, you have the blood of in some lineage, as if that somehow makes you more equipped to lead. is total bullshit, right? Like, that's people using their position to try to continue to have resources rather than engaging in what's good for the community at large. But humans need leaders. Humans, in a lot of ways, want leaders. There are many, many, many people who do not want to make big, hard decisions. And there are some people that do. So I'm not the one that gets to decide whether Alistair would be a good leader or not. And I'm not a huge fan of the idea of, like, you know, the best leader is somebody who doesn't want it. I think that gets a little bit slippery, because if we force Alistair to be a leader and he's resentful of the position and he doesn't get to live the life that he wants to live, we're no better than somebody forcing somebody onto the throne by any other weird ass arbitrary reason. Right? The idea, the best way that we could do this would be to call a lands meet and get Ferelden on with the idea of democracy. Like, democracy, where constituents literally have the power to determine who represents them, is theoretically a great way to go. You have people who put themselves up, but where you run into problems is when you start to feed that process with things like resources. When people only have access to run because they have the resources to get themselves in front of people, that's when stuff gets extra complicated. But if we could turn this into some form of, like, let's find some candidates that people put on the ballot and step forward and say that they want to do this, and let's run this as an election, let's get somebody who people actually see as representative of them, that would be better. Right, but to just be like, oh, he's got the blood, so he's fit for it. It's just such a weird-ass, arbitrary way to go. Aren't we planning to depose her? I mean, I suppose that's a fair question, because he did insinuate that, and I would like to get that information. Whether she'd be a good ruler, better ruler than Alistair, I don't know. That's not my call to make.
Anora was a capable administrator for Kaelin's lands, but she has not a drop of royal blood. We did not fight the Orlesians all those years just to lose our royal line in a single generation. Not when there's a surviving son of the blood.
So Arl, what do you stand to gain to have Alistair on the throne? Because remember, this guy's no dummy. This guy's not altruistic either, friends. He stands to gain from this too. He's got a grudge against the Orlesians. If Alistair becomes king, I'm sure Alistair would want to have Eamon in hand in order to help advise him and be available to him. I'm sure he's banking on that because he's got a very strong relationship. Right? He's trying to get himself positioned. Every single person here has an agenda that they're operating off of. You should absolutely never trust that everybody is acting out of pure altruism. It's just not a thing. It's not to say that everybody's malicious. It's not to say that everybody's out to screw everybody over. But when you start adding power and resources into the mix, Arl Eamon doesn't show up here amidst all of this if he doesn't have some skin in the game. He has skin in the game. He needs to acknowledge it. So now he's saying, I'm going to use this arbitrary thing in order to try to vie for something that I want to get out of this. I am using Alistair as a pawn in my own game. I hate all these options because I hate how archaic and stupid this is. But Alistair's mother was a scullery maid. How is he better? I think that's probably fair. I would rather Alistair speak up right now. Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king. That is also true. He also just doesn't want it. Maybe Alistair should marry Anora. Hate that. I can already anticipate that if I say Alistair doesn't know the first thing about being king, Eamon's going to be like, well, we'll teach him. Right? Like, that's an easy one for him to rebut. See, here's the other thing, Chad, is like when you're trying to determine how you want to respond to people, you don't necessarily want to throw something out there that you already know the answer to, because then all you're doing is giving that person information. I also, as much as I think Arl Eamon's a good leader and I respect him, I also don't trust him fully. I don't trust that I'm not a pawn in whatever his game is. The Grey Wardens are a very strong piece of representation. This guy has concerns beyond the Blight. So if I say something like Alistair doesn't know how to be king, I'm giving my own opinion here, and he's either going to agree or he's just going to be like, well, we'll teach him. Like, there's no actual information that I stand to gain from that. And so if I ask the question about how, if I basically draw the parallel here between Alistair and Anora, I can get more information out of him. How is he better?
Thanks. I'm right here, you know.
His mother was a maid, but his father was Merrick Theron, for whom we all risked our lives to win back the throne. I only wish Merrick had taken more time to instruct the lad in the politics of ruling. I did my best, but we all hoped Kaelin and Anora would secure the succession.
Why is it so important to put Mark's son on the throne?
Ferelden was first united by Calenhad, the Silver Knight. For 400 years, his descendants have ruled Ferelden. That was the heritage we preserved from the Orlesians. And it is the heritage I will fight for as long as one of Calenhad's descendants still lives. Without that to unite us, we could scatter back to warring Terniers.
As if we're not already there. That feels like a gigantic what if, my dude. Gigantic what if. Also, united who, right? Like, I don't know that I would exactly call all of us united. Because he has to remember who he's talking to. I'm an elf from the alienage. I have been monumentally screwed by this system. My family has been monumentally screwed from this system. Why do I give a shit about any of this? Every single one of you have screwed my kind over. As far as I'm concerned, humans in powers can suck my ass. So I don't have a lot of skin in the game here as it relates to that. So, like, I mean, there are some real undertones here. There is some real privilege showing in the sense that Eamon is basically talking about, like, human nobility and power. He's not talking about uniting all of Ferelden, because there's literally indentured servitude right down the street with people that I come from. The only reason that I got out of it was because I committed a crime, and because Duncan decided to bail me out and send me to Grey Wardenship instead of sending me off to go sit with Soros in the cell. Like, this is a system. This is the thing that always stands out to me when you talk to people who are in massive positions of power and have a huge amount of wealth. Is the system works for him. Of course he wants this system to continue. It works for him. And he's not paying attention to, how does this system work for everyone? This system doesn't work for everyone. This system's great for the Arl. Look at how many freaking houses he has. He's got a house here. He's got a castle in Redcliffe. Like, this dude's doing just fine. He has benefited immensely. His family has benefited immensely. And sure, are there some good things he's probably done for the people of Redcliffe and whatever? I can imagine there probably is, but ultimately this is a system that only works for a certain group of people. It's really no different than the conversations we were having in Orzammar. It's just a little bit more covert. I will say, to give the dwarves more credit, they're at least overt about their power and hierarchy and their system. Humans, in this case, love to live in freaking La La Land about this and try to act like, oh, everything's great and everything's good, when there are, like, very clear tiered systems. But, like, this is totally Orzammar. In the same way that I beat the shit out of dwarven nobility for the way that they handle stuff, human nobility needs to be held to a high standard as well as it relates to this stuff. Tell me, Arl Eamon, how this is going to work out for my people down in the alienage. Tell me why I, an elf, look me in the eye and tell me why I should give two shits whether Anora or Alistair is on the throne. The thing that I have been told that I'm supposed to care about is the blight. And right now, we're pissing around while a blight is upon us. There are poor people in Lothering. There are people all across Ferelden right now that are getting absolutely screwed because they don't have the benefit of stone walls and castles in order to keep the Darkspawn out. And we sit here bullshitting with this stuff. So I know I'm going off on a little bit of a soapbox here, but this kind of thing really frustrates me because this is all talk. This is people who are acting on their own agenda. This is people who are not keeping the 30,000 foot view of the system that they're in. It is absolutely an illustration of the way of the more privilege you have, the less down you have to look. The alienage has to look up. We have to care about these power structures. People that are in marginalized groups, people who are screwed by the system, have to care about the politicking that goes on there, because otherwise they are in severe danger of being killed or messed around or whatever it may be. Whereas when you're high up and you're benefiting from the system, you don't have to care. He doesn't have to give a shit about the alienage. He doesn't have to care about what's going on in Orzammar. He doesn't have to care about all the other people that share this area. He doesn't have to care about the Dalish elves that are out in the forest. All they do is look at all those people as potential threats. So keep them under the boot, and we're cool, and all is well, and things are working well. So I doubt the developers gave this big picture stuff much thought. Whether they did or didn't, I don't care. The point of my playthroughs is to illustrate this stuff using games. I don't really care what the developers intended or not. All right. I don't know that I want to say either of those two things about Alistair not knowing the first thing about being a king or Alistair should marry Anora. That's for Alistair to speak up on and speak about. Let's talk about something else.
We certainly have a great deal to plan.
What do you think he's doing in the alienage?
Maker knows what that man is capable of now. Of course, if I might make a suggestion, go speak with Anora. She will either be a powerful ally or a powerful enemy, and the sooner we know which she is, the better.
Queen Anora. We have been given the gift of freedom by our forebears. Let us not squander. Okay, so Anora fled in confusion. She made her way to Eamon's Denerim estate and there offered aid in defeating her father at the Landsmeet. Alistair, what do you think of all this, dude?
I haven't been here in a while. They've changed the dining room. What do you need? Ask away.
Yeah, me too, Skag. Where is Anora? There she is. All right. Let's see what she has to say.
Hello again, Warden. It is good that you came to speak with me. I will be blunt. I can see that your voice will be a strong one in days to come. It is to you that Eamon listens, and with good reason. My father must be stopped, but once that is done, Ferelden will need a ruler. I would welcome your support for my throne.
She's good. I mean, she's buttering me up. You know, ooh, there's no doubt that Arl Eamon loves you. I can see why he listens to you. Yes. Right. Like, she's got to butter me up a little bit. The problem is, she doesn't know anything about me. This is how you can tell she's out of touch. I understand what her agenda is. I know exactly what she's trying to do. She has to play the game too. Anora is not important to me just because she says she's important to me. A lot of people in positions of power, a lot of politicians don't understand this. A lot of politicians go to their constituents and think that just because they are in a position of power, that people should give a shit about them. People care about political figures so far insofar as they advocate for their values and their needs and what it is that they need, like what they want. Anora needs to take a second here and understand the context. Anora needs to figure out what makes me tick and needs to show me that I am important to her in the same way that she assumes that I think she's important. I don't give a shit about her. I do not care about her in any way, shape, or form. She is just as much a pawn to me as I am to her. I don't have a personal relationship to her. I have not benefited from the system that she rules. Her husband didn't really do anything for me other than he did acknowledge me when I got to Ostagar, which was pretty cool. If she wants my buy-in on this, because here's what she's doing. She's acknowledging that I matter here. She is acknowledging that I carry power. She's trying to constantly remind me that she's the queen and she's the one that's the beneficiary of a lot of these things, but she is acknowledging that I have power, which means that I have leverage. She could be just as out of touch with what the elves have dealt with as Kaelin was. I mean, Kaelin had no idea. Kaelin was like, oh shit, I gotta go see what's going on over there if it's so bad. But again, she needs to get into some empathy. She needs to be like, I would imagine for an elf to look me in the eye and say that he wants me to be on the throne when his entire alienage has been screwed has got to be really difficult. I'm curious, like, what it would take for you to, what it would take from me to get your support, right? Like curiosity about what makes me tick. So this is really more of a commentary on, like, when you're in a position of power, do not make the assumption that people give a shit about you and your position of power as you do. People care about what you can do for them when you're in a leadership position. And you need to be very clear that you understand their needs, that you've actually taken a second to get to know them, not just operating on assumptions and tropes and a bunch of bullshit, or ignorance in Anora's case. Get to know your constituents. That's how you get my buy-in here. Why should I support you? Let's put her on the spot here.
For years, I have ruled this kingdom as Kaelin's queen. As much as they loved Kaelin, all of the Banon knew this to be so. Kaelin was a good man, but what is needed now is not another good man, but a good ruler. I sent Alina here not solely because I thought I needed help, but because I saw an opportunity for us both. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine.
I can get down with the we need a good ruler, not a good man. I can get down with that. But I need to know what your definition is of that. What does that mean? Again, it's very me. Me. And she's using this as a bargaining chip instead of like an actual authentic, nice conversation that would actually make me feel good about supporting her. My guess is that because Queen Anora has been so just draped with decorum and political nobility bullshit for most of her life, I actually don't necessarily fault her for her inability to connect with me. Because as we're seeing, as we hang out with nobility in different areas, like, it's all just posturing. It's all posturing, it's image, it's what you're supposed to be. It's very hard to cut through the bullshit to get to the actual authenticity of it. Anora very well may not have ever been socialized around being able to actually connect with me. So I can depersonalize it in that way, but it doesn't mean that she's not totally accountable for this. She's looking at pawns, quid pro quo, blah, 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 blah. Right? Like, I think I know what you want because I know what makes other people tick here. So she's going to be very hard to have a connection with. And if she's somebody that I want to have an authentic connection with in order to actually feel any kind of sense of support for her, she's got to find a way to get into that or learn how to do that. I don't really know what I stand to gain from her being in a position of power, which is, again, what I keep falling back to. You've got to show me that you understand what I need. I'm with you there, John. Like, I also want to know why she thinks that I'm so important. She is acknowledging that I have power without telling me what it is. And so I can't figure out if that's to try to get me to buy into what she has to say. Like, am I just a pawn? Or do I have legitimate importance? And this is one of those moments where known and unknown variables are actually important. If I can't figure out why I'm important to her, that moves me closer to thinking that I'm probably a pawn. She doesn't get to have my trust just because she acknowledges that she wants to overthrow Logain. That's all talk. Until I actually see her speak out against Logain, which she could theoretically do at any point in time, I don't know that I buy it. I am struggling to figure out why I'm important. Notice how she also hasn't said anything about the Blight. Hey, Warden, I know you're trying to get out there and fight the Blight. I know that we're actively working against it. She just, like, is totally oblivious to it. She's not even acknowledging the core thing that makes me as a Grey Warden tick. I don't feel good about this. This is really interesting. Like, I know I'm a bit all over the place in, like, some of the stuff that I'm saying right now, but it's because this is not as clear cut as she and Arl Eamon are attempting to make it. Honestly, if she was like, look, this is my best chance to be queen. I've been sick and tired of all these freaking men doing everything, and it's time for me to rule this place. Like, I could at least appreciate that. I mean, and one of the things that we haven't even talked about yet is the patriarchy itself. I think actually what you're saying, Valdelia, is true. If Alistair has the blood and Alistair is a man, he actually is probably going to have most of the favor. I could totally... I mean, if Logain, who has absolutely no claim to the throne, is able to get people to look at him over Anora, all of a sudden you bring Alistair up as a political threat. You say he's got the blood. He's Merrick's son. You are going to get some buy-in on that. People are going to go for that. And if Anora knows that, and Anora doesn't want other people to take over power, she wants to be the one that has it, then Alistair's a threat. So she's going to do whatever she can. I think I have more leverage. I have a lot of leverage here. All I know is I don't feel super confident right now in my willingness to align with her. But I also don't know that I want to immediately turn her down. This is what's really tricky, is I need to play the game here too. I could diminish my importance by saying I don't think I'm as important as you believe, to try to get her to maybe show her hand a little bit more. This might be the most perplexed at a conversational decision that I've been. I need your support, Warden, and you will need mine. I have a hard time. Okay, you know what? All right, bear with me for a second. I think part of the reason that I'm so put off by this is because of the fact that we just went through COVID. So I'm gonna tie a little bit of IRL into this because this is I think where this part of this is coming from. My sole purpose as a Grey Warden is to defend against the Blight. Something that does not discriminate. The Blight comes for all. It comes for elves, it comes for dwarves, it comes for humans, it comes for nobility, it comes for the poor. The Blight does not give a shit about anything. Any of this. It's like the White Walkers from Game of Thrones. They don't give a shit about any of that stuff. As a person who has been appointed to fight that Blight, as somebody who has a special role as it relates to that, right? To try to protect all the people through this. When the Blight is upon us, which we have tangible proof that that is the case. I think COVID, right? We know COVID was, if you're a COVID was a hoax person, you're going to hate this channel. So COVID, right? Like, COVID's a thing. It comes by. There's this giant plague or whatever. Like, whatever it is, right, is coming through here. And Anora knows that I'm that person that's there to fight that. And she says to me, I need your support as the person in leadership, and you will need mine. She is positioning herself as, you know what? I know that the Blight's out there. You're going to need somebody to help you with the legitimacy of it. So you better scratch my back, or maybe I'm not going to help you, Grey Warden. Which is so bullshit. Right? I would think Anora would be like, holy shit, man, this Blight's coming for all of us. Yeah, we got to figure this shit out. I got your back in the Blight, man. But like, hopefully I show up for you as a leader in a way that you need in order to get this Blight kicked out, so that you'll feel comfortable endorsing me. That grabs me. She says that. Look, I'm gonna use my position of leadership right now to show you, a Grey Warden who has rallied a lot of armies together, that I'm the person you want to back. But she's not doing that. She's sitting here going like, make me the queen and maybe I'll help you out against the Blight. And to me, that's bullshit. Alistair, at the very least, I know is going to want to fight the Blight. Right? It's no different than somebody saying like, yeah, I'll tell people how to handle COVID properly as long as you scratch my back. Terrible. So I think that's part of why I look at this with Anora, and it really bothers me, because she's not showing a awareness of the thing that killed her husband. Yes, Loghain turned his back on Caelan and left, but he didn't turn his back on a field of daisies. And, Caelan just happened to be allergic to the flowers that were in there and got stung by a bee. He literally turned his back on a horde of darkspawn that killed her husband, and she still doesn't feel a strong sense of motivation to take out the Blight. She hasn't even mentioned it. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I agree that there is much to be done before the lands meet, but don't you think plans should still be made for what will follow? I do.
No, I don't. We'll deal with that when the time comes, Anora. I don't know. Absolutely not. I don't give a shit what's going to happen after the Blight, because I don't even know that we're going to get through the Blight. We got to go one step at a time here. We start playing around with all the what ifs of what happens after the Blight's over, the Blight's going to consume us. The what ifs are the reason that we're sitting here having this bullshit ass conversation in the first place. This is what drives me crazy. You know why I give Caelan... You know what? I give Caelan a lot of credit, chat. I give credit so much to Caelan, because you know what? Caelan was in the trenches. As naive as it may have been, Caelan went to Ostagar and was like, let me see this shit for myself. Let me see what we're up against. He didn't hide in his castle so far away with like 30 bazillion membranes between him and the Darkspawn to make it so far from his awareness that the decisions he was making on the day-to-day were absolutely ridiculous, right? Like, Kalen got out and went to Ostagar with the Grey Wardens to see what it was that his kingdom was going to have to fight. And even though he went there with maybe not his head completely screwed on straight as it related to it, at least he went. Any decision he would have made if he made it back from Ostagar was going to at least be he saw the Darkspawn with his own eyes. He rallies the community around it. He says, we got to follow the, right? Kalen actually paid attention to this. Anora is so insulated. She is so far away from the parts of society that are affected by the Blight that she's just completely out of tune here. And so that's why she's like, well, we should talk about what happens after because we always get through the Blight. Look, I have generations of noble family that have gotten through the Blight. I'm done talking.
Ah, there is to be no discussion then. Your loyalty to Alistair is admirable, if misplaced. If you change your mind, speak to me again. All I wish to do is talk.
Bullshit. No. All I wish to do is talk is not at all true. All she wishes to do is influence. All she wishes to do is to get me to act on her prime directive. Her goal is not to have a conversation with me, is not to learn more about where I come from, is not to learn about what's important to me, is not to share more about where she's coming from. Her entire goal is to get me to align with her agenda. She doesn't want to have a conversation. She says that line because it makes it look like I'm the one who's not willing to work with her. I just wanted to talk. I was just trying to have a conversation. I was just trying to listen to what the other side had to say. He didn't seem to be interested in talking about it. No. You're not trying to have a conversation. You're not trying to have meaningful discourse. You're trying to convince me that you want the throne. And you're trying to leverage a whole bunch of arbitrary shit to get me in line with you on that. You don't get to hide behind that line. Absolutely not. Duly noted, Nora. And he right immediately assumes that I'm backing Alistair. Immediately, right? If you're not willing to have a conversation with me, then it means that you think Alistair should be on the throne. Which, again, this is why you let people talk. This is why you let people talk, chat. You listen to them. Because she lets on. We just saw where she's at. She just projected that shit all over me. This guy, anybody who's not with me is with Alistair, a person that I primarily see as a threat. I said nothing about Alistair. Nothing. You gotta let people talk. I cannot emphasize that enough, chat. You let people talk and you listen. They will tell you exactly where they're at with things. And then you respond to them accordingly. I can make such a better decision now about what to do by the way that she handled all of that. Such a better decision. There is no part of her that cared at all about what I had to say here. Her whole goal was to get a feel for where I was at with Alistair. And when I gave her nothing, she showed me her projection. She showed me what she was trying to get some confirmation bias on.
My lady, she will be forever grateful, Warden.
No, she hasn't said thank you, but I appreciate that.
Warden, let me know if there's any assistance I can give you. We have much to do and little time. We need to do all that we can in the few days left to us before the lands meet.
It's interesting that her elven maid has an Orlais accent. She did pick a local elven servant. And why would a local want to work for her? I just, I guess that you have to create indentured servitude, but... Alright, so we have to go to the alienage and see what's going on. Let's go see what's up in our hometown. See, I mean, this is the thing too, right? Like, we're talking about where I come from here. Right? Okay, so it looks like she went into the conversation with the assumption that you backed Alistair already. Exactly, right? So that's the thing, is she doesn't know. All right, hold on. We're gonna dissect this for a second, because this is so important to illustrate. By the way, I appreciate y'all being here and hanging in on the conversation. I know we're not moving too much through the game, but there's so much good stuff here to talk about. She has no idea that I don't know what I want to do. I don't know that I want Alistair on the throne. I don't know that's a good idea. The dude doesn't want it. Right? She has no idea that I am still wishy-washy on that. And if I let on that that was the case, she would spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to influence me out of my indecisiveness. Instead of showing that I don't know, I just don't give her any information. So when I don't give her information, I become an unknown variable. So it's the reverse happening. I create myself as an unknown variable through a lack of information flow. And what happens is her brain then fills the gaps in with whatever it is that she's worried about or thinking about, which she then projects onto me. So she starts to interact not with me, but with her projections. So her assumption is that I'm backing Alistair because that's what she's afraid might be the case. Because if I back Alistair and Alistair doesn't want to marry her and Alistair gets put on the throne, she loses her power. She loses all the comforts and lovely things that she's grown accustomed to over the years, which of course she wants to hold on to. You're telling me I have to get out of my mansion? I have to go live among the common folk? I don't want to do that, right? So Alistair is a legitimate threat to everything she knows. He is an equalizer in an extent of, like, he diminishes the amount of privilege that she's gotten into. So I stay stoic, and she then makes that assumption, which is, again, why in this scenario where I'm working with nobles, I'm working with people in a position of power who are very clearly indicating that I have leverage just by virtue of the fact that they are willing to talk to a city elf. They are literally inviting a city elf into the halls of their noble homes and telling me all this stuff. That is information enough that I have a whole shitload of power here, that they are legitimately, like, either threatened by or in awe of the power that I bring to these different scenarios. Okay? So I stay silent as much as I possibly can. I let them be aware of the power that they think I have, and I let them project everything onto me, because the reason that people are often threatened by people who are silent is because they have to project onto them. They don't get information. People who talk all the time and tell you exactly where they're at are very easy to interact with because you know where they stand. They tell you, you don't have to guess. When a person makes you guess by staying silent, you get wrapped up in your own bullshit. And I'm using that to my own advantage here to get everybody to give me the information so that I, using the power that everybody has bestowed upon me, can make a better decision when the time comes to make a decision, as I have had to do multiple times throughout this game. So that is really the power of me not giving Anora any information there. Of not mentioning Alistair, of not mentioning why I did certain things, not even mentioning why it was that I went and broke her out of jail, right? I'm going to let her assume whatever she wants to assume about that. But I need these people in their assumptions instead of necessarily having all the information from me. Because if they get the information from me and it's not what they want, they can either dispose of me, or they're going to try to use me as a pawn for their own gain. I want to control these scenarios as best I can. I wonder if she's also scared of what might happen if she loses everything and has to live amongst the people that she might have oppressed. It's a perfect yes. That is 100% something that she would have to worry about. You imagine if she got sent over to the alienage, or she had to live close to the alienage? People are like, oh, Queen Anora's on the streets now? Get her. Because we know that she was behind all of Kaylin's decisions. She's made it very obvious to us. And it seems like everybody in Denerim knows that Kaelin didn't really do anything, that Anora was the one that was doing all the politicking while he ran off to Ostagar to go fight the Blight. She didn't even thank me, really, for getting her out. I think there's even a sense of entitlement that that's what I was supposed to do because she's the queen. That's not the kind of thing I want to work with. That's not going to get my buy-in as a city elf.
Dwarven crafts. Fine dwarven crafts.
She straight up left us to die. You're absolutely right. So, let's see what the alienage has for us. We're going home. All right, now before we go into the alienage, I just want to take a second here. I want to take a breath because there's a lot going on here, but I also just want to acknowledge and say thank you to everybody who's watching this. Those of you that are here live and are conversing with me, I appreciate it immensely. Thank you for keeping chat spoiler free. I am grateful for that. Those of you that are watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching this. I am not claiming to be correct, right? Like, this is a blind run, so I don't know how correct all of this is in the grand scheme of the great design of BioWare. I am just calling it as I see it and trying to illustrate as many things as I can and talk through my thought process. So I hope that it is something that is of interest to you. I'm assuming it is since you're here. But thank you so much for supporting my content in the ways that you do. The best way that you can continue to support this content is to share it with people. So spread the word. Tell folks, if you have a Dragon Age lover in your life that you think would love to watch this playthrough, tell them about it. It makes a huge difference. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please take a second to do that. All these things help the algorithm. They help me get noticed. I really, really, really do appreciate those of you that spread the word and talk to people about this place as it continues to grow. Those of you that do support the stream financially as well, whether you're a member on YouTube or whether you subscribe on Twitch or whatever it may be, if you purchase merchandise or if you listen to my music, thanks for that as well. I appreciate it immensely. But it's awesome to have you all here. And if you're new here tonight, thanks for being here. All right, so we've got, boy, we're home in the alienage, and this is going to crash. So I'm going to save. I'm going to take us to Thong Dwarf Guy. And then we're going to reload it because I can just tell at this point when it's going to happen. Told you. Knew it. I knew it. So let's pull up our Lord and Savior. Isaac, thanks for gifting that sub. Appreciate it. Thong timer ran out, right? We got to reload the thong. Thanks, buddy. Oh, apparently his name's Gorm. All right. No more flicker. All right, here we go. What do we got here? Hooded courier.
We are grateful.
Oh.
The compact is renewed.
Okay. You delivered the notices of appreciation to 5 hooded couriers in Denerim. Return to the Blackstone irregular for your reward. Okay, I can do that. Who's this guy? Veril Bairn.
What do you need?
I have a letter for you from the Blackstone irregulars.
I suppose a noble death fighting the blighted wretches is better than basking in this squalor. They'd better be paying well.
Oh, wow. Okay. Sick elf.
We're not going to be mobbed, right? That's not something elves do here. Mob people.
Oh, Alistair. Wear that oversimplified representation on your sleeve. I actually understand that. I understand why he's saying that. I understand it. Because people that are not outside, that are not within the alienage, this is what's represented. This is what they're told. It's no different than real life, right? People get afraid of poor people and think they're going to get mugged by poor people. People think when they go into low-income areas that they're just automatically in danger because that's what they see represented to them. That is not actually the case. Alistair's the scary one. Alistair, by walking into the alienage, is the scary one because Alistair is a human, and every time a human comes into the alienage, some crazy shit goes down. Okay? So Alistair is not the one that needs to necessarily be worried here. It's recognizing the people around him need to be worried. What Alistair would be better off doing, and I actually think he did this in his own Alistairian kind of way, is to get some reassurance from me that this is not what he has been told that it is. So is it a microaggression? Yeah, I think so, but it's a microaggression that I can understand and empathize with a bit, because what it shows me is that Alistair never really had much contact with elves or the alienage. Why would he? So this is what happens when people have oversimplified stories of certain groups of people in areas, is they have all these fears that they've been told they should be afraid of, rather than just kind of seeing for themselves and being aware of the situation and the dynamics that are present. It's why we need to have discourse about relative groups and intra-group relations and stuff like that, and understanding the way that these things are represented. Having a conversation with Alistair and Liliana and saying, hey, by the way, we're going into the alienage. You two are humans. This is going to scare the shit out of a lot of elves that are in here, because last time humans came in there when I was there, my sister or whoever it was got raped and dragged away, and I had to go bust her out of there. So you don't need to be on guard. You need to present yourself as if you are unassuming and not dangerous. Otherwise, the elves are going to be on the defensive, understandably so, because every single time we have humans in here, it's chaos. Because you guys have all the power.
Far beneath you will just take whatever you give us.
I think we better explain things to him.
Myra, is that you? Myra? Where are you?
Yeah, and then we have a radioactive golem that we bring with us. Yes, exactly. It's my home. All right. What are you doing here?
I'm going. Maker's breath, I'm sorry.
I don't know who that guy is. Starved veteran.
Spare a silver for a war veteran?
Give 1 sovereign. Hope this will get you off the street. Here you go, man.
Oh, Andraste, bless you, sir. I won't forget your face. No, I won't.
Here we go. Gotta help my fellow elven.
Thank you, sir.
You're very welcome, man. I'm swimming in it. I got how much? I got 198 sovereign. No problemo, brother. I'm giving back to my community. All right, let's go talk to Dad. Ooh, Saurus. Saurus is. Look at this. We're back at our roots, chat. Saurus, what's up, man?
I wasn't sure you'd show up here. I'm sure you've already had enough of the warm alienage welcome.
What happened here?
Arl Howe led a purge. Vengeance for Vaughn's death, they say.
Makes the blood boil. Makes the blood boil, man. That's how you control the masses. That's how you continue to perpetuate the power that you have, right? Like the elves do something. Vaughn comes in like a battering ram. Acts like a complete jackass. The elves retaliate. And then, using the power that they have, the humans come in and they purge the alienage. That serves as a control mechanism. There is a desirable behavior in fighting back. So how do you extinguish desirable behavior? You punish it. So the humans come in, they do a show of force, but that tells every single elf, you better let us do whatever we want to you, because if you retaliate, you fight back, we will decimate the masses. We control the resources. We control the communication. We control all of this, and we're going to reassert that dominance. How dare you stand up for yourselves? We've objectified you. We can do whatever we want. We can get our rocks off at feeling all high and mighty and powerful when we come in here. And we will make sure that you know your place. We will use the authority that we have to do completely immoral shit because we can. And there is absolutely no system of accountability for that. What are you going to do about it? It is the most blatant version of what are you going to do about it that there is. When marginalized groups are terrified of the systems of authority enforcement that exist in dominant groups, this is why. Because there is no recourse when they act poorly. I'm sure the humans went and investigated it themselves. Did a little in-group investigation. And we found that the elves antagonized Vaughn. We need to teach him a lesson. Ugh. Where's my father?
The healers took him into quarantine a few days ago. I'm sorry, cousin.
Oh, God. Where's Valora?
She went to the hospice a week ago. They said she had the plague. I didn't believe it. I mean, she was fine. But they took her to quarantine. I haven't seen her since.
Oh, my God. We're doing some biological warfare now, too? Are you sure she couldn't have been sick?
I don't know for certain. But Valora seemed to be in perfect health.
Where's the quarantine?
A house on the north side of the square. You can't miss it, cousin. There's a huge crowd there now.
All right.
What a surprise. Can't get out of here fast enough, can you?
You've learned that there's a plague spreading about the alienage. Men from the Tevinter Imperium are here supposedly to help, but it seems they're taking both sick and healthy elves into quarantine and that no one ever sees them again. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, it's good to see you again, friend. You were so generous to me before, and these are other veterans.
I'm an orphan.
Oh, and an orphan. Please, my lord, can you spare some coin?
I don't care what their motives are. This is a position that a lot of people get into. Humans are animals. There's a reason that there are signs by lakes that say don't feed the ducks, right? You throw bread to ducks, it's free food. It's easily accessible. They learn that they can get food there. Why would they go forage for it if they're going to, eat the bread or whatever, right? You put the ducks in danger if you do that. Humans are animals. It's not the same as ducks, right? But if you show a person generosity, as we did this guy, I gave him a sovereign. I'd tell my friends too, hey, there's this super generous guy. I asked him for a silver. He gave me a gold. We're struggling. These guys are in a bad way. Is there a chance that they're trying to swindle me? Sure, maybe. I don't know. So what do I need to do? I need to pay attention to what my own boundaries are. I need to know what I am able to do here. What is important to me? Is it important to me that I give back to my community, regardless of what it is that these guys are struggling with? Do I need to have a certain budget? I can only afford 5 sovereigns. This is all I got, right? Turn inward. What are my limitations? How much bread do I actually have to give out here? It is okay if you know that if you got $3 in your wallet and you're like, look, man, I can't spare any of these dollars because I need these $3 that I earned or whatever to be able to get my own needs met. That's okay. I can give these guys some acknowledgement. I'm sitting on 198 sovereigns. I am not here to be the arbiter of the reason why they need this. The reality is these guys have the balls to come up to me and ask for help. And if I was this guy and I was struggling and somebody gave me a sovereign and my friends were struggling, I would want them to know about it too. It's not my job to judge this. It's my job to engage with whatever boundaries I have around it. And I can afford to do this, so I'm going to do it. I don't give a shit what their motive is. Here's your chance at a better life, man.
Oh, you're too kind. Just too kind.
The Maker preserve you.
Long live the good sir!
Now, if I take a selfie with these guys and post myself to Pharreldagram because I want everybody to see just how wonderful and how generous and amazing I am, I'm being an asshole. You don't do this for impressions on other people. You do this because this is something that you genuinely care about and you want people to do well. You don't exploit these for your own image. I'm not doing this because I want all the people of the alienage to revere me. I'm doing this because I want to give back. I was able to leave the alienage. I was able to get resources. I can give back a little bit. I cannot stand, personally, I cannot stand when people make a big giant social media wahoo about look how generous and amazing I am taking this selfie with this homeless person that I gave $100 to. Look how great and generous and benevolent I am. It's exploiting people who are struggling for your own image. So think twice before you do that shit. Do it because it's the right thing to do. Do it because it's something that matters to you, not because you're going to get clout on social media. How does one deal with the guilt of upholding boundaries? Guilt's a narrative. You remind yourself why you set them in the first place. And you remind yourself that boundaries are setting the rules of engagement, and that people who don't like your boundaries and become reactive to them are people who needed the boundaries set with them in the first place. But guilt's a narrative. There's probably some anxiety that comes along with it. If you're telling yourself a story that you shouldn't have done that or whatever, just remember, people don't like change. They don't like having the rules engagement swapped out on them. But you're setting boundaries to protect yourself and to have a meaningful engagement with the people you're setting boundaries with. Yeah, you can share that video with whoever you want, Hoffman. Official notice. Bearing arms is strictly prohibited. Elves who have swords will die upon them. Yeah, don't dare protect yourself.
Bless you, sir.
Oh boy. All right.
Now that is a big tray. I wonder if the children get to climb it.
I don't remember, Alistair. Andraste's grace. Distinctive landmark, but otherwise unremarkable. Mystical site of power.
Yes.
Yes, Sheila, it can. It is a boundary. Valendrian's house. We're breaking in. God, I'm breaking into my own people's homes. That feels a little shitty. I'm not gonna steal anything. I just came in to see if there's any lore in here, and to get Liliana some XP. Boundaries are more important. Again, I cannot emphasize enough, chat. People that you're most afraid to set boundaries with are the people you need to set boundaries with. People don't respect your boundaries, that's a problem. Good boundaries are clear, yet somewhat flexible in order to adapt to various situations. If you want to learn more about boundaries, I have a 2-hour, I think it's almost 2-hour video on YouTube about how to set and maintain healthy boundaries. If you setting boundaries ruins a friendship, the friendship probably wasn't that great to start. Sir Otto, what's up, man?
Is someone there? Maker's blessing to you, child.
Oh, he's blind.
Be not afraid. I still have some sight
kind of.
to see you by.
Who are you?
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Sir Otto. I am a Templar. I lost my sight in a battle with a powerful Maleficar. He called flame from the air and burned my face. The scars have healed, but my sight will never recover.
Damn. I'm sorry to hear that, man.
Don't be. Many of my brethren died in that battle.
All right, what are you doing here?
We'd heard rumors that there's an enclave of Maleficarum hidden in the alienage.
Okay. Have you found anything? Man, these... The guy already acknowledged that he's disabled. I don't need to be sitting here questioning his abilities. Right? Like, people do this. People, like, this guy was obviously sent for a reason. It's fine. I don't need to sit here and go like, oh, should they have brought somebody more healthy? Are you in any condition to fight them? That's not my place to make that decision. He's here for a reason. He's been assigned for it. What do I add by asking those questions? Absolutely nothing. All I'm doing is drawing more attention to his disability, which is apparently irrelevant for whatever it is that he's trying to accomplish here, right? So I'm totally making this about his disability and not about him. It's okay to acknowledge people's disabilities. In fact, you kind of are weird if you don't. You just don't make that the entire identity of the person that you're talking to, right? So I'm going to engage. This guy knows why he's here. He's here for a reason. He's talking very clearly about what it is that he's here. So have you found anything? I'm going to just... There's no reason for me to separate this out and just be like, oh, this is a disabled guy doing this, so let's call more attention to that. He already acknowledged it. He told us about his sight. Oh, don't be afraid. I'm blind, but I can still see a little bit, and here's why I'm here. Great. You found anything? It's that easy.
I have found no evidence of Maleficarum in the alienage. However, there is something else. This place, it's scarred like me. When I came here, I immediately could feel an air of hopelessness, despair. But over time, I felt the wrongness runs far deeper than that.
What do you mean?
I don't know. But the feeling of wrongness never wanes. And so I attempt to puzzle it out. I don't suppose I could impose upon you.
What's up? I'll help.
It took patience, but some elves opened up to me, and I've heard their sad tales. But I found no real evidence to support my fears. Ears alone have done all they can. I was hoping you could be my eyes. Look around the alienage for anything out of the ordinary.
I already found something weird by that tree. I love this, though. I love that this guy realized he needed to be patient in order to gain the favor of the elves and get them to open up. He didn't barge his way in, go, hey, I'm a Templar, talk! He went in and he listened and he was patient. He went at their pace. He showed himself to be somebody that they could open up to. There's a lot to be said for that. Allyship happens through action. It doesn't happen through verbiage. You don't just go in and say, oh, I'm safe, we're cool. You show you're an ally by listening, by acknowledging the role that you have relative to the people that you're around, by educating yourself going in, and then by listening to the subjective stories of the people that you're around. And then there's a chance that they will open up to you. And when they do, you don't take advantage of it. You appreciate it for what it is, right? You be honest about what your directive is in that space. Sounds like this guy did this. I give this guy a lot of credit. It's really good stuff. What should I look for?
I don't know. I have a feeling that there is something to be found, though. You seem capable. I have hope that you will find what I seek. Make her watch over you, child.
All right, cool. Something wicked. There was something by that tree, so I think we're going to go check out that tree again.
Didn't the wedding teach you people anything?
Another sick elf.
They took my husband.
Now, thank God my helmet has a mask on it, because I would be terrified to be here as an elf. Oh, God. Dude.
Just leave me alone.
Oh, my God. This is terrible.
The house has eyes. But Grandma calls. What's a girl to do? Have to be a good girl, but have to avoid the bad men. You're not one of the bad men, are you? I just want to make Grandma happy.
Bad men?
The housemen. They came the night of shouting. All of us orphans were in there. Then the blood. Oh, the blood. Still bleeding. Poor animals. Poor us.
Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. All right. Well, this woman experienced some kind of trauma that I wasn't there for, and thus can't, I'm not entitled to an articulation of that trauma, so I'm gonna stay surface level with this. Who's your grandmother?
Never met her, but she protected me. But I lost her amulet. Grandma, make the voices go away.
What did the voices say?
Everything and nothing. They thirst for blood. More blood. The bad men in the house.
Let's see if is there anything I can do to help.
No, sir. No, sir, indeed. Don't go into the orphanage. The bad men will take you too.
Found a young female elf who's been driven insane by recent trauma. She said there were bad men in a nearby abandoned orphanage. Oh boy. That is the situation. So I think I've talked about this a little bit before, so I'm not going to go too deep into this, but when I worked on the crisis and suicide hotline for a few years, one of the things in our training that was very helpful for me was when you have a caller who calls in who is experiencing basically what this woman is experiencing, where there is some very obvious trauma, some like kind of like weirdness, so to speak, outside the realm of what we would normally expect in discourse. You treat what that person is saying as if it is true, because it's true to them. So when she is saying, you know, I hear these voices, or I'm experiencing this thing, there's the bad men, my grandma needs to do this, right? You engage with that as if it is reality. I know that maybe there are some things that she's hallucinating or that she's traumatized, but I'm not going to immediately engage her as if she's lucid enough to understand that she's traumatized. The way that you de-escalate a person who's like panicking or freaking out in a situation like that is to acknowledge their reality, is to work with that, is to get on board with some of the urgency, and then to de-escalate using your voice, to stay calm, to gather information. But you treat what a person like that is saying as fact. A lot of people will go into that and they will try to convince the person that they are not seeing reality, that this is just, oh, it's just a hallucination, that's not actually real, it's not a... No. If this woman says there's spiders in my stomach and I hear voices telling me to drink the blood of the people around me, I'm going to treat that as if it's true. I'm going to, like, wow, that must be really scary. What's that like? Tell me about the spiders. Tell me about the voices. It shows that you're willing to reach over and kind of meet her where she's at, and you're going to get a little bit more connection, and then your influence is more likely to be something that she's willing to be bought into, and you may be able to help. But to ask a bunch of questions and to go in like a battering ram and immediately challenge her reality because you know what things are actually like, you're going to misfire in a situation like that. Not that many people watching this video are ever going to be in a position to talk to somebody who's dealing with that, but if you ever did find yourself in that kind of situation, you want to handle it in that way. You be very curious about that person's experience instead of immediately trying to shut it down. Pool of blood.
There he is! Now, no crowding. Let the good sir breathe. There are a lot of unfortunates in the alienage, sir. Many veterans, orphans, the diseased, and sad tales of all sorts.
I still don't have my parents.
Yes, sir. And poor Oli still doesn't have his parents. Anything you can spare would be appreciated.
I am a bit frustrated with BioWare with this. When we talk about representation in video games, I understand that this game came out in 2009. But this is the kind of stuff, like in Grand Theft Auto, when I was mad about the way that the therapist was represented, I am angry about the way that this is being represented. BioWare had a choice. They could make this legitimate, or they could make this where these people are trying to scam me. And BioWare's going the scam route. This is something that a lot of people worry about when people ask for help. This is something that prevents a lot of people who legitimately need help, who really have to dig deep and get vulnerable and lean into how awful it is to ask another human for resources without working for it. This negates the sense that those people are out there and they're worth helping and that they need to be helped. This confirms a representation that a lot of people have of folks who are struggling, that most of them, or a large chunk of them, are people who are scammers who don't actually need the money. They're just looking for an easy payday. This happens. This is not the reason why you shut everything down. Because there are legitimate people that need help that get screwed by this. But it's not my job to be the arbiter of this. There are now a lot of people sitting in front of me. It makes complete sense, again, why these people would approach me. These people are desperate. The alienage is in terrible shape, and I know that. I'm an elf. But when you are a person that comes from a place that doesn't have a lot of resources, this does happen. There's actually an entire documentary about how this happens to professional athletes who come from very low income areas, where all of a sudden people come out of the woodwork because they know you have a bunch of resources, and they don't come out for malintent. They come out because they're hoping that they can get resources, because people need help. People need to be able to live their lives. So then it starts to come down to boundaries. So when we talked about this earlier and I said I need to know what my boundaries are, I've given 6 sovereigns. I've got a lot of people showing up. I can't just continue to just bleed sovereigns into these guys. So I am going to just say I can't give you anything more. I don't have anything more to give you. So I need you to stop asking me. I've given you 6 sovereigns. Do what you can with that. I don't have any more to give, man. I'm sorry.
Ah, well, I figured it wouldn't last. Thank you for what you've done. The rest of you lot, the good sir isn't handing out any more monies.
Aww.
Cool. Right? And that's okay. And they're respectful of it. They understand, and we're cool. This corpse of a rabid dog, it looks like it was skewed with a spear. Nobody's cleaned up the body, and it appears to have been dead for some time. We found more clues pointing to something unexplained, perhaps sinister at work. Sir Otto would be interested in your findings.
What have you found?
There's a dead rabid dog in the alley.
I'll report that at once. I've heard such afflictions can spread, even from a corpse. I suppose someone may not have known that. That's by the orphanage, right? A sad place. Did you find anything else?
A beggar said that there were bad men in the orphanage.
The riot took its toll not only on the body, but on the mind as well. I know of whom you speak, although she opened up more to you than me. One odd thing I am willing to believe, but two is no coincidence. Let's head to the orphanage. Both of your clues were near there.
All right, let's go.
I've got children.
Oh,
at
God
home.
damn it.
I can't wait out here for another day.
So go home. The best thing you can do for your children is not trust these charlatans.
Everyone remain calm. We will help as many as we can today, so long as we can do this in an orderly fashion.
Oh, you're helping us, are you, Shem? Like Valendrian and my Uncle Syrian, you helped them, didn't you? Help them never to be seen again.
We've explained this to you before, girl. More whining will not persuade us to let you into the quarantine to carry plague back out to the alienage.
Quit trying to get us all killed, Shiani. Some of us have still got things to live for.
If this spell of theirs works, why are half the people they quarantine perfectly healthy?
God damn it. I did not want this to be what I ran through. What's going on?
I don't believe it. Source said you were back. But he was such a mess, I thought he dreamed it. Cousin, you have no idea the things that happened after your wedding. I'm babbling, aren't I? I'm so happy to see you. So much has happened. It's good you're home.
What's going on here?
These people say they're here to help us. Funny thing, the people they help all disappear.
That's not true, and you know it, Shiani. Both my sisters got protections from the plague, and they're fine.
What about your niece, though? And my Uncle Syrian and Valendrian? Where are they?
What do you mean protections from the plague?
I'm sorry, cousin. I know you haven't been here. You have a lot of catching up to do, I guess.
Tell me about the plague.
It came from the Blight. That's what they say, anyhow. People fleeing the Darkspawn brought it with them. After the refugees arrived, people here got sick. And these Tevinter vultures began circling, taking people out of the alienage a few at a time.
Oh, freak people out more, control them more. Oh my God, man. Why would they do that?
That's just it, cousin. Many of the people they take away aren't sick, not even an occasional sniffle.
What can the Tevinters even do
They
about
say
it?
the sickness spreading here is a blight disease that they saw in the Imperium ages ago. Magic can't just make it go away, but it can keep you from getting it if you're healthy. So every day, new people line up to be magicked. And every day, the Tevinters pull someone out of the line and take them to quarantine.
All these people are healthy?
Not all of them. Some of them are obviously ill. It's just so few seem to be sick compared to all the seemingly healthy people they take.
I'll go talk to them.
Just be careful.
After I go to the orphanage. Saw that coming. Saw that coming. They're mostly taking healthy people. I don't even have a hypothesis on why they would be doing that. What do you think, Banana Hammock Thong Dwarf Guy? Yeah, I don't know either.
feeling is intense here. This is the right place. I know not if it's the work of the Maleficarum, but there is definitely evil here. You go first. I will follow.
Oh, good. Ghost Kid. This is a bit spooky.
Do you hear me, Sir Willem, Sir Willem? I'm a falling, Sir Willem, Sir Willem, today. I'm a maiden, Sir Willem, Sir Willem. But I'm dying, Sir Willem, Sir Willem, in pain.
On second thought, let's go deal with the play. Okay. Oh my god. There's gonna be crazy ass toys in here, aren't there? Oh no, just some... Oh my god. There are red dots on me radar. Oh god. Dogs. Yeah, it could have been birds, right, Shale? That would have been real spooky. I don't like this room. I don't like this room at all. Oh, God.
I can't die. I will never die.
I hate this. Potential spider warning, I guess.
1, 2, ranks 1 through. 3, 4, the kingdoms at war. 8, 9, and now you die. All right, how we doing, party? How you feeling? Are we doing okay? You having fun? This is good. It's a fun house. I can't wait for the mirror room. I already did play Alien Isolation. That playthrough is on YouTube if anybody's interested in watching me play a horror game. If you love the idea of watching me sit in lockers and say, oh my god, about 30,000 times, you should watch that.
This is the center of it.
Mortal! You do not belong here!
Blessed be the Maker and his prophet Andraste.
Your pathetic maker is nothing compared to my glory!
I command you, show yourself, demon. Hide in the shadows no more.
You dare to command me? Let us see if your precious maker can protect you now, worm!
This demon is such a guy. Oh my god, this is why rage demons are the lowest of the low. All you gotta do is be like, quit being a weak little weenie. Don't tell me what to do. Yeah. Like the lady demons just absolutely command the room. They don't mess around. They totally own shit. They're terrifying. And it's just like, you tell me what to do, I'm gonna like, what a little bitch. I love that tactic. Like, just call him out. Call him a weenie and he'll come out and fight like a knucklehead.
We won. At one time, I considered myself quite the warrior, but you accomplished here what I never could. But something still isn't right. I feel there is more to this. Nearby, the building next to us. I can feel it, just on the other side of this wall. Let us go.
Okay. Y'all hear the screaming in the background? Like, what are we doing? Before we go, I want to go explore the other room we never got into. All that for some freaking elf fruit. Okay. Boy, some bad stuff happened here. What I was waiting for, here's what I was actually worried about, chat. I was worried that we were going to confront the demon that I let go back down in the deep roads. It's like all these children are dead because my dumbass let that demon go. And he's like, hey, remember when I told you I'd see you again in hell? Welcome to the orphanage, baby. But no, it's just a little lame rage demon. This is my first time. It's a blind run.
Huh? Who are they?
Please, leave the children. Take me, but just...
No! No!
shelter his children as we journey into darkness.
Anybody ever think about just telling the maker maybe to just don't do stuff like this? Like, maybe just don't make these things? Like, we wouldn't have to call upon the maker. Like, I cannot emphasize this enough. If the maker doesn't make this possible, we don't have to call upon the maker to deal with it. Now we gotta walk around this goddamn house of horrors. Because the maker wants to engage in funny business. A lot of enemies. I can see why the children did not survive. But perhaps the children are even more terrified of the fact that I'm here to save them, given my track record with children. They're like, no, no, sir, these demons are here to prevent you from getting to us. We've seen what you're capable of. We watched episode 7. In fact, this is called episode 7 Protocol. Man, this orphanage, it's... You didn't think, like, people, like, when they ordered inventory for this orphanage, and they're like, yeah, we'll take 30 ceiling hanging hooks. Deliver it to the back door of the orphanage. Somebody wasn't like, hey, that seems like a weird order. Oh. Okay. Oh, a pile of rubble with nothing in it. Cool.
You think you are safe?
Though the Golden City has fallen, I have seen your face and your light. I am your...
Save your pedantic chant for your sermons, Templar. You have killed my brood.
The Maker compels you. Show yourself.
The Maker? There is no Maker. There is no Golden City. But there are demons.
There are indeed.
Yes.
He really threw the book at him.
By Andraste and all the divine after her, I order you to face me.
You delusional fool.
Oh, you're not even that impressive, bro. The aura of fire. Impressive enough to crash my game, though. He got the last laugh there. Oh yeah, Dr. Mick, you want to talk shit? Take this. It's like Eternal Darkness when it would do the fake shutdown of your game. Except not fake. Let's try this again.
You think...
have done it again. I feel the darkness receding. I've seen the work of demon before. Some Maleficarum consort with them, but the Maker must have guided.
No! Jesus Christ, what?
Now, you die!
Brick killed a guy! Stabbed him with a quadrant. It's not a trident, it's 4. Wow. Now, this is what I'm talking about. A lot of demons. A lot of demons right now. A lot of demons. This is Dante himself coming in here. Oh, baby. You killed the demon at the heart of the Elven Orphanage, but not before it killed Sir Otto. The haunting and supernatural unrest are now over. Well, damn. And all I got was this damn health poultice. Battle axe, not interested. Knight Commander's shield, worn ambulance. A worn and tarnished silver amulet caked in dirt. New quest, hearing voices. I found the amulet that the beggar girl in the alienage spoke of. Return to her. Ooh, okay. Okay, easy, Shale. Easy. Oh, baby, it's hot in here. Don't go in there.
The bad men, they are quiet. They call for blood no more.
Is this amulet yours? I found it in the orphanage.
It's my grandmother's. You found it, sir. May I have it?
Absolutely.
I feel like a mist is leaving. Oh, thank you, sir. I have to live my life.
Wow, so she was literally just like being... Demons, man. Demons suck. I love that they exist in this game, though. They're super interesting. Wow, wow, wow. All right, so we took care of that. Good on us. We got a plague to go have a stern talking to folks about in part 31. YouTube, thank you so much for making it all the way through part 30. That was a blast. We really ran the gauntlet tonight on a lot of content. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun to bring it to you. You made it this far. Please make sure you give a thumbs up on the stream. Make sure that you leave a comment if there's any part of this that you'd like to talk about. I just ask again. I know that there is lore. I know that there are things that I have not learned yet about what is to come. Do not put those things in the comments. This is a blind run. I'm using the information that I have at hand when I'm trying to process this stuff. It is not helpful if you put comments in there that have spoilers and shit like that. I do not appreciate them, and they will be removed. Those of you that respect that and leave comments of other types, I appreciate all of them. I love reading them, even though I don't respond to all of them. Part 31 is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you're binging this series, I'll see you right over there. If you're waiting for the next one to come out, we'll get it out to you as soon as we can. Thank you, as always, for all of your support of what I do. It means the world to me, and I can't wait for part 31 and continuing what has been an incredible run. Adios.